We are reconvening at noon. We will have a range of things going on throughout the afternoon. We're going to do a little bit of a well-being activity engaging each of you. So something to think about. We'll say more about that tomorrow. And then we have Laurie Santos, who teaches a really famous course about happiness at Yale University. She's going to be talking about that course and other things related to well-being and happiness. We have additional presentations from different institutions. We actually have 2 tracks tomorrow afternoon. We have 3 in each of those tracks. So you'll be able to hear more about what's happening within the coalition. And then we're going to transition. We have more time for discussion after that. And then we're transitioning to thinking about how do we know if we're making progress? How do we assess that? What are the opportunities for assessment for the coalition and for all of you? And then a little bit more about what the future of the coalition might hold. But I'm now going to turn it over to Tom Katsouleas, who has been a tremendous supporter, source of energy and ideas for the coalition throughout its history and before. Former president of the University of Connecticut, was involved with life transformative education there, was involved with life transformative education at the University of Virginia. And it, again, has been a tremendous contributor to all of our work. And then we've asked him to say a few words about what he's learned throughout the experience of today and to summarize it a little bit for all of us.
Thank you, Keith. I'm struck by the example of Juan Antonio Samaranch, who proclaimed each Olympics the best Olympics ever. It's easy to say that on the first day of the first annual conference of the Coalition for Life Transformative Education. I think this is a watershed day for more reasons than just it being the first day of our first annual conference, and that is Rick referred to our early meetings at O'Hare Airport as meetings where a lot of head nodding took place. And now we've made this transition today, which came through, that we moved from head nodding to reality and action. And there's really been substantial progress, is the feeling I got from all the presentations we heard today from the member universities, who are already transforming lives and their own institutions. And I'd say it's pretty clear to me that you are becoming the nascent leaders of what we hope will be a national movement. I'd like to acknowledge and thank Dean Walton as the first keynote of our first annual conference, and note that holistic well-being and purpose has long been a part of Divinity School's missions. And he gave us new language to light the path that we're headed on. And I took away from it this notion of combining caritas and veritas. And that is really at the heart of what we're trying to do. And then he reinforced how his personal path was transformed by a caring mentor, which is one of the premises of what our LTE goals are. So I'd also like to thank the Kern Foundation for their support that has gotten us to this point, and the freedom they've given us to shape the direction of this coalition in the way we saw most fit. And a lot of funders won't do that, and they did. What struck me today that one of the strengths of the coalition became apparent in the presentations, and that is that we are united by certain common goals, and most often expressed in terms of identity, agency, and purpose. And then there's almost a fourth one, which John Bolin hinted at, which is belonging. It's almost part of identity. But anyway, there's some common goals and themes, but there's tremendous flexibility in how each institution pursues them. And that's led to a richer variety of ideas than trying to all be doing the same thing. And, the example from University of Michigan Dearborn of digital storytelling, what a powerful vehicle for cultivating identity, agency, and purpose. And they're showing how that might work. And then there was interesting connections between that and the podcasting at USC, and how USC is connecting the curriculum to existing programs as a path to scale, like the Freshman Academy that's already there, but connecting the Freshman Academy program to things that produce, these life transformative experiences, rather than starting over. Let's see. University of Maine, John, I'm just wowed. You know, the speed and scale of ambition of your program is a big wow. But I would say what struck me is, you know, you're the first to try to bring LTE across all 4 years. I think up until now, we've been thinking it would be good to bring it to scale, to bring it once to a student during their 4 years. Yours is much more ambitious, but really exciting. Bucknell bringing connecting purpose to small group reflection sounds like a really exciting experiment. Olin on holistic well-being. This is a theme I think we'll return to more tomorrow in the UVA presentations. And then finally, Bates College, you know, really the senior member of this coalition. They've been working on purposeful work since 2014, before the coalition even existed. And let me just say wow to Professors Doge Roth and Banks for their examples, which were so powerful and just illustrated, you know, how you can get to scale with things that seemingly don't scale, right? Doing the science of beer, you know, hops brewing of beers doesn't sound like something that's could scale. Yet Bates has come the closest. They're I understand from President Spencer, they're close to 50% of students having some interaction with one of these purposeful work infusion courses. So, you know, it's one student at a time, but I think there's a lesson from that, which is, you know, Alan, you sort of said it, you said what the key to success was giving some structure to the faculty and then a tremendous amount of flexibility once that structure was laid. That's the philosophy of this whole coalition, by the way. And I think that's what we're seeing is that's paid off at Bates, and I think it's paying off for the whole coalition. But it does raise the question that Brian Olson raised, which is how do you bring together 24 different things into a coherent whole? And let me just tease you a little by saying, we're going to give you the answer to that tomorrow. That is going to be answered in the presentation from Stephanie Markin at Gallup. Okay, and so I'll just leave that as a little teaser. We'll also hear from, again, UVA, Wellesley, Embry-Riddle, Arizona State, Wake Forest, and it's sure to be an exciting program. Let me end by coming to where Keith started. He had 2 goals for the conference. One is to create greater awareness of what each of us is doing, and the other is to build greater community. I would say, Keith, this today was a resounding success, and I'm looking forward to even more tomorrow. Back to you.
Thank you, Tom. That's a tremendous summary of all the things that we've accomplished today and have planned for tomorrow. As you were saying, this is our first annual CLTE conference. We have a great group of people here today who have participated, who have given ideas. It's wonderful to see the building momentum. We'll continue that tomorrow, and we'll continue that into the future. Thank you for all your attention today, and thank you for all your great contributions. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.